Have any of you noticed how, like, a couple years ago, I want to say like 8 years ago tops, literally everyone and their mother online started shilling nuclear energy or becoming anti nuclear energy? And it's really, really difficult to find factually accurate information to support either side because it's just a sea of psyops. Like, it's kind of like how when a war is going on, people will use this phrase, the fog of war, to describe the situation information wise, because both sides are putting out so much propaganda and they all have their propagandists as well as their useful idiots who will unknowingly spread their propaganda, and the information war ends up overclouding literally anything that is even resembling truth. And so you have to look through all of this nonsense just to find the kernel of truth within it all, and it's all just a confusing haze of propaganda and information warfare and persuasion. And it's annoying. It's annoying. And now I think this is what we're experiencing with energy, where there's this information war happening, one, on the side of the fossil fuel industry to make nuclear energy seem like a bad route to go down for renewable, safe energy to meet our energy needs in the wake of climate change. And then the oil lobby's useful idiots for this anti-nuclear propaganda end up being environmental activists who probably have some legitimate grievances with the technology. I won't deny that, but they nonetheless end up being used by the oil lobby to push back against what's at this point like one of the best things, or it could be one of the best things we have, um, in this current situation with climate change. Although at the same time, I think there's also a lobby for nuclear energy, and they're putting out information that downplays the extent of the Fukushima disaster, the extent of the waste. So, actually storing and maintaining the nuclear waste is extremely difficult to do. It's expensive. It just kind of sits there forever, and you have to keep moving it. They downplay the extent of Chernobyl and other such disasters where nuclear reactors were being mismanaged. And I think this is a problem just for like the sanctity of truth. For those of us who aren't particularly leaning towards one side or the other, you know me, you know my channel, you know what I do on here. I make arguments from literally every side depending on what mood I'm in. And I just kind of say things because they're interesting to say, not because they're anything that I strictly believe, unless you ask me about literally like two or three issues. So I don't have a stick in this game. You know, I'm not trying to play for my winning team. I'm not trying to cheer for my winning team or for any team. I'm just trying to get information. And it's so hard to do because you have the pro-nuclear people out there, like, either pretending that those events never happened, downplaying them as much as they possibly can, and making these convoluted arguments to do so. Or you have people on the other side vastly overstating the extent to which these things are issues, as well as just making up things. And it's like this fog of war we're seeing. It's the fog of war for an information war rather than an actual tanks on the ground, boots on the ground war, which of course involves its own information war as that occurs. But it's an information war about an energy war. And it's so hard to make heads or tails of this because, like, I'm trying to look for data on this, and some of it exists, but a lot of what you find when you try to search for this are just people opportunistically citing the data to prove their point for their political party or their organization. And I'm sure they're leaving certain things out. I'm sure it's not scientifically rigorous because a lot of these people are not scientists. A lot of these people are political pundits or activists who think they know what they're talking about. And I'm going to tell you straight on, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's why I can make one video saying, oh, we should ban all guns because guns are bad. And I can make really good arguments for that. And then the next video right after I'll say, oh, we should arm teachers and actually have more guns, and actually we should have mandatory military service, and actually we should have prayer in schools. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Nobody knows what I believe because I don't know what I believe. I guess I kind of believe some things and then I also kind of don't. But I can make really compelling arguments for no matter what side I'm talking from or about. And it makes me want to understand this nuclear thing. You know, that mindset makes me want to understand this, but it's so hard to find reliable information about it. So please, I implore you, no matter what side of this issue that you're on, tell me how I can find information about this issue. Give it to me if you can. And explain your thoughts on the issue. I want to know what you think about this issue. Because on this channel, you know, we try to be nonpartisan. We try to welcome all points of view. You know, we try to argue from all points of view. And I just want to understand what's going on here. The fog of war is clouding my glasses and my eyes. And I have no idea what I'm talking about. But what else is new?